Let's talk crap. Hey everybody, it's Dallas Miller with Breeze Real Estate, and today I am here with Megan Considine of Goosehead Insurance. How's it going, Megan?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. So I've got Megan here today to talk about an important issue for a lot of homeowners out there that we see in real estate. And when I say talk about crap, I'm literally mean crap. We're talking about sewers today. So Megan, you see a lot of issues with homeowners insurance and claims. Where do sewer claims rank?
Yeah, I would say in our area, and speaking specifically to the Kansas City metro area, they're probably my second or third highest or most prevalent claim that I file for my clients. So I would say the first is going to be a roof claim, right? We get a lot of hail and wind issues here, but second to that is going to be sewer line and backup sewer issues.
So when it comes to sewer claims, obviously I think in terms of importance with sewer claims, I think one of the big things that comes down to is price. Sewer claims can get very costly. What are some of the prices you see with major sewer repairs?
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about actually replacing or repairing a sewer line that, runs the portion that runs to your house, you're typically looking at anywhere from like $8,000 to I've seen upwards of $25,000. Typically, it's going to be in like the $8,000 to $15,000 range for your standard sewer line replacement or repair.
Yeah. So definitely very important for our homeowners, buyers and existing homeowners to get service coverage on their sewer lines.
Correct. So, yeah.
What are some of the different kinds of coverages that you offer or that insurance providers offer for consumers?
Yeah, so that's a great question. This is something that I talk about with every client because it's so important. So I would say 5 to 8 years ago, most insurance companies started adding endorsements such as buried utility lines coverage and backup of sewer and drain coverage. So these are both very important to plumbing issues. Buried utility lines is specifically going to cover the lines, the water or sewer lines that run from your home to where they hit the city property. So if you're thinking about that, that's essentially your yard area. So very common, a sewer line might crack or collapse or break. You as the homeowner are responsible for fixing that portion that is on your property. So you would have to call somebody, have them come out, dig up your yard, replace or repair the line. So that would be specific to the service line or buried utility lines endorsement. And then the second coverage is going to be backup of sewer and drain coverage. So that's when water actually comes in through your drains in your home, typically in the lowest living area. So for a lot of Kansas City homes, that's your basement, right?
Whew, crappy situation.
Very crappy situation. So that is a whole nother sort of situation. But it can cause damage to any lower living area. So if you have a finished basement, I mean, I've seen claims go upwards of like $150K to repair basements, repair flooring, baseboards, personal property, things of that nature. So those two kind of go hand in hand. So typically when you're having a backup sewer issue or your drains are backing up, it a lot of times is because your sewer lines are damaged. So typically, not always, but a lot of times those are going to go hand in hand.
So when we talk about insurance for the sewer line or utilities, we've talked a lot about it starting where the house ends. Mm-hmm. So what about the pipes under the house? What happens if you have root intrusion or a break in the pipes under your house?
To your point, the buried utility lines coverage is going to pick up where your home ends and then cover you all the way to where the city property picks up, right? So all the plumbing that's right directly underneath your home is going to be subject to the provisions of your homeowner's insurance policy. So the important thing to know and the primary difference between the two is that on your homeowner's policy, any type of loss or claim would exclude damage from old age or wear and tear. So that will apply as well to the plumbing directly underneath the house. Now with the buried utility lines coverage, that specific endorsement is unique because it does not carry that same exclusion. So typically, obviously, if your sewer line cracks or breaks, a lot of times it is due to old age. So that's a very nice benefit to that endorsement, but the same does not apply to the plumbing directly under the home. So if you were to have issues because it's just old, wear and tear, rust, corrosion, things of that nature, that is the responsibility of the homeowner to repair those things. Insurance companies are not going to approve that. That will not be covered. Now, if it's caused by something sudden and accidental, such as like a root intruding into it or something of that nature, typically on most policies, that would be covered. Something sudden and accidental.
Great. So, sounds like sewer repairs can be very, very costly. So surely the insurance is super expensive, right?
It's actually not. No. Again, another amazing benefit of this coverage is on average for buried utility lines coverage, it's going to cost you about $30 a year to have that on your policy. Yeah.
So $30 versus $30,000.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're talking what, $2 to $3 a month for that coverage. And many of you may be aware of the fact that a lot of times your utility companies will send you things like Water One or your coverages for water and sewer lines. It's typically a little bit more expensive than just adding that endorsement on your home. So typically with those, you're looking at $8 to $12 a year, a month. But it's nice to have those if your homeowner's insurance company doesn't offer the endorsement. Yeah,
absolutely. So what about, I know I personally have insurance, some added insurance through Service Line Warranties of America. It costs me $60 a year, and it's just a little extra cushion for me. What do you think about companies like that?
Yeah, I honestly am for it. If, and I know you and I have talked about this, homeowners insurance, so this is your primary residence, right? They will offer the service line coverage endorsement option, typically on a landlord policy. So if you own a home that you don't live in, that you rent to somebody else, they will not offer that endorsement option. So in those scenarios, for the investors I work with, I'm always highly recommending Sewer Line Warranties of America is one of my go-tos. So yeah, if for some reason your homeowner's insurance does not offer it as an endorsement, it's definitely in your best interest to make sure that you have that coverage through a third party.
That's great. And actually, I believe I've seen some information that Kansas City, Missouri actually offers, they partnered with Sewer Line Warranties of America and sent that out to some of the residents just because it is, it's inexpensive coverage that you can add for yourself. So, yeah.
And those claims are just, again, so prevalent, specifically with older homes and some of the areas like, Plaza, Mission, Waldo, Brookside, all those beautiful homes that we love tend to have some more plumbing issues, unfortunately.
The older the house, the more character, the more possibility for some issues.
Absolutely.
So, as real estate agents in these homes, what we see predominantly are clay tile sewer pipes. When we think clay tile, think terracotta pot. You're going to see those in a lot of houses built prior to 1980. So I'm no expert on clay tile sewer pipes, but when you think about a terracotta pot, you think about it breaking pretty easily. And that's what we see a lot in these pipes are cracking, a lot of root intrusion, and even some breakage. So that's why it's so important to have insurance coverage on your sewer line. Fortunately, in today's day and age, they're using more things like PVC pipes and some more sturdy materials, which don't break as easily and don't have as many issues. But again, in the Kansas City area, think about all the homes that were built prior to 1980.
Yeah, I would just say if you haven't looked at your policy in a while, again, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but this is the service line or buried utility lines coverage specifically is a newer endorsement that I would say insurance companies have started offering in the last 5 years or so. So you may reach out to your agent and just see if that's an option for you or if your policy includes it, because backup sewer and drain and buried utility lines coverage are not standard inclusions. They have to be added as endorsements to your policy.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. And if I'm going to talk crap with anybody, I'm glad it's you. So.
All the time, any day. Always love to talk crap.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.